Hello and welcome to an update after a very long time from the farm. It's 6th April 2025. The time is exactly noon, 12:05 now. It's super hot. It is actually very hot everywhere, even in Bangalore. Weather seems to be very hot these days. So the big update is we've started doing the solar electric fencing. So let me show you around. So in some of my previous videos, you might have seen that even though we have done the chain link fence and with the stone poles, I think they did offer good protection against wild boars and cows and cattle, but elephant issues were still there multiple times. In the last few months we had incidents of elephants, sometimes like 4 or 5 elephants. They came, they break the poles, they come inside, they eat whatever cattle feed we have. And we, as you know, we also have the sump there, like the swimming pool. Luckily they didn't go there, they did not damage, but multiple times the poles were broken. And we thought we have to do this electric fencing setup as soon as possible. So we thought of multiple options: the typical solar fencing versus hanging fencing. And after a lot of discussions with experts and thinking, we've decided to go with the hanging fence. The main reason is with the typical solar fencing, I think elephants have still found a way to learn to just break the poles, and we've seen some incidents where they still find a way to get inside, get past the solar fencing. But in the hanging method, I think it's slightly better. Meaning, first thing is these poles are about 12 feet high, and we will have the hanging fence right from the top all the way to the bottom. And the other thing is, these poles are also not exposed for the elephant attack, because these hanging fences will be outside these poles. As you see here, the pole will be here, but the fencing will actually be here, like about 1.5 to 2 feet from the main pole. The fencing will be there. So after we finish the work, I'll post another video. But because the fencing wires are away from the poles, these poles are not exposed to elephant attack, and therefore this offers better protection. Slightly costly, so roughly we are expecting about 4 lakhs, maybe 3.7 lakhs to 4 lakhs total cost, including labor, material, these posts which are very expensive. All put together should cost us that level. A typical solar fencing would have costed us maybe about 50 to 60k lesser. So we've gone with this option. So right now this is still a temporary setup. They are trying to erect these hanging fences. So the way it will work is these insulators, as you see here, along with this main wire, will go all the way to the top. They'll be hung there, and then there'll be another wire like this that will go from this point to the next pole. So that way there'll be set of parallel wires, one at the top, one at the bottom, and then there'll be multiple perpendicular wires. You'll probably be able to see them here. Like, these are right now temporarily being hung, but after it's done, they will lift this and then sort of hang it there. And these perpendicular lines, they will be roughly at about 3/4 of a feet, about 8-9 inches wide, and that should offer better protection. The alternative to this is we can have springs instead of regular wires, but obviously that will cost a little extra, another 20 to 30k more. I think per spring they were asking like 10 rupees for setting it up, or rather making those springs. And we have about 2200 running feet, as you already know, and that would have costed easily like 25k. So we just want to save that. From a functionality point of view, I think it's all the same. There's no difference. Just the aesthetics would have been looking better in terms of a spring, but we said let's not take that extra cost. So these wires are all lying down, but after they are hung at the top, they look perfect. So at the moment, all the poles are fully done all through the boundary, 2200 running feet. We've also done concrete at the base, and for these main poles, as you see, there are also these support poles, the stays. Main poles are 2-inch GI pipes, and the stay posts, or rather those pipes, are like 1 inch. The thickness of them is 1.6 millimeters. Roughly we paid about 95 rupees per kg as of 3 days back. The rates keep fluctuating, and we bought close to a ton plus other accessories such as the steel part costed us about 1.1 lakhs. And then basically we took 20 feet long full length pipes, we had cut them, and then we have welded them with a typical welder, just any welder, like just a regular welding there, and then they are fixed like this. So every 20 feet pipe is cut into 3-4 pieces, and then we have done this setup. The welding work alone costed us roughly about 25k, and then transport and other things is another 1500. Material for all of the whole setup, like meaning the electric fencing material, these wires, battery, and then a few posts for that, frames, all that is roughly about 1.1 lakhs. Labor is expected to be at about 60 rupees per running feet, so that should cost us about 1.4 lakhs. So in all, we should be able to finish this project at about 3.7 to 4 lakhs. So this is the main update from the farm. Otherwise, we have not been doing anything on the farm side other than just sowing for the cow fodder. Like all this is cow fodder, maize and horse gram mixed. But for now we have temporarily paused. Also, there are no rains. We are waiting for the drip irrigation material to arrive. The subsidy process is still going on, taking much longer than anticipated. I think I'll need to go and follow up on that. But once we have the drip irrigation material, then we will start planting trees. Apparently, I attended one workshop near Salem. It's a place called SR Yerke Totam, where there's a gentleman by name S. Raju who's done a phenomenal job of doing the 5-layer farming. It was a full day workshop, quite far from Bangalore. I had to go there, stay in Salem, but it was worth it. Like, he explained the science behind farming. Farming in the sense natural farming without the additive chemicals, and he explained 5 layers, how it's sowed, and how the plants are planted, how the sunlight is harvested, how humus is created, and how nutrients can be taken out from the soil and air. All that was explained very well. I felt it was totally worth it. We will need to implement some of the learning from there, but obviously we will have a formal start after the drip irrigation arrives. So hopefully we will finish the solar fencing setup another week or so. I also have a few upcoming travel plans, so maybe in a month from now I think we should go back to full-fledged farming. I'm now thinking I'll start collecting tree saplings from wherever. There's a Isha nursery, an hour and a half from this place, and there are also a few nurseries near Agalkota, which is in Tali. So we are planning to start collecting different types of tree saplings and maybe make a nursery near the house. And once they grow up a little bit, then I think we'll go back into the fields and start planting them. And prior to that, we will need to do all the swales, those trenches that we talked about earlier, separate out the sections, finish the drip irrigation, and then we can start planting. So that's all the updates I had today. I'll keep you posted. Sorry, I think I don't have a lot of updates these days, so my the frequency at which we are posting the videos have slowed down. But hopefully once the solar setup is done, once we have the drip irrigation material, then we can develop the farm a little faster. As we develop things, I'll keep you duly posted. All right, see you on a different video later. Bye.